Hello my friends, welcome. So beyond grateful that you're here joining me on this one. I'm going to be bringing you through 5 different egg breakfast recipes. All of them are going to be a super chill Saturday or Sunday breakfast idea, and or if you have a little bit of extra time throughout the week, feel free, get inspiration, make yourself a delicious breakfast. I know that's not applicable for most people, however, we usually wake up and leave the house. But for today's first recipe, I'm gonna be making some scrambled eggs, frying up some tomatoes, adding a couple spices, little bits and bobs in here, making them really delicious. This is a Italian, quote unquote, styled breakfast, putting it on some baguette, and let's dive into it. Let's go. We wanna do everything in one pan for the ease of life. Obviously, depending on who you're cooking for, how many people, if it's just yourself, handful of tomatoes, giving them a good rinse, and then we're gonna chop them in half or keep them whole if you'd like. Roughly mincing a couple cloves of garlic, pushing all that aside and cracking a few eggs into a bowl. Whisking them really well together, adding a good pinch of salt, good crack of black pepper, combining that and setting it aside. And while the pan heats up, I'll grate some mozzarella cheese, just enough to add a nice little layer to the eggs. As our pan is getting warm, I'm gonna add some olive oil, as much as your heart desires. I go all in.
I'm all in, bitches.
And our garlic, just to kind of warm it up, really allow the fragrance to get in the air. Add the tomatoes, a tablespoon of balsamic, adding a few sprigs of rosemary, 1/4 a teaspoon of thyme, 1/2 a teaspoon of onion powder, giving them a little mash. So I got my baguette chopped. I have a handful of fresh basil that I'm just gonna throw in at the very end of these tomatoes. I'm gonna plate these up. We need a little spatula to get all the gooiness, deliciousness out of this pan. I don't know why I do this accent sometimes. So we are on low heat. I'm actually gonna crank it up to a little medium low, melt this butter, and get our eggs in here. For scrambled eggs, we want to keep them moving. We don't want them to kind of sit on the bottom of the pan and then get like crispy or brown or anything like that. Scrambled eggs, you want them fluffy and light. So keep them moving in the pan and you will achieve that. About midway through, adding the mozzarella. Serve up your scrambled eggs, add your toast, and the plate is done. So because I cooked the eggs in the same pan as the tomatoes, the eggs are a little bit discolored. However, I'd much rather that than have to wash another pan. So just trust the process. The eggs are gonna be delicious if you cook them in the same pan. And they're actually gonna be more delicious because you have all of the saucy, marinade-y stuff sitting at the bottom of the pan from the tomatoes. Obviously toast, butter your bread if you so desire. I could not be bothered. The tomatoes are sweet and garlicky. The black pepper in the eggs really balances the two out. All in all, that took me maybe 15 minutes. Cheers. Before we dive into the next couple recipes, I need to make some pickled onion for it. You can make as many or as much or as little as your heart desires. I only have this jar, this size jar, so I'm just gonna do 1 onion, but double, triple, quadruple, 8 million times fold this recipe. I've made pickled onions way too many times on this channel, but they're so good. So we always need to watch it again and make them again. I like to cut my onion like this. So this is the tip, this is the butt. Cut it in half so it looks like this. And then I cut off the tip and then I cut off the butt. I only do this for pickled onions. Otherwise, I would never cut off the butt because we love booty. And then as thick or as thin as your heart desires. In a small pot, I'm gonna do 60% vinegar, 40% water. I don't actually know the calculation of this, but I did 2/3 a cup of vinegar and a 1/4 cup of water. Half a tablespoon of sugar and a good pinch of salt. Place this on low heat until it starts to steam and maybe slightly simmer, but we don't need it to like boil or anything. Add some chili, but it's not necessary. Did she measure this perfectly? Or what? Cover with a lid and set aside. While the onions are sitting and marinated, they can marinate for like 10 minutes. They can marinate for maybe not a jillion years, but like a few days. We're gonna be making a scrambled egg wrap with lots of veggies and a garlic lemon yogurt. And well, let's get chopping, let's get mixing, let's get making. Half of a cup of yogurt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 teaspoon onion powder, the zest of half of a lemon, a tablespoon of lemon juice, and a tablespoon of honey. Mix really well. Taste. Season accordingly. So for veggies inside the wrap, I'm going to do some ribbon carrot. So I just cut off the butt ends, peel it, get rid of this, and go over the carrot with my peeler, creating ribbons. This is my favorite way to have carrot. Slice up some cucumber. This avocado is a real gamble. I don't know what it looks like inside. Ah! Beautiful. It's a funny shape, but you're beautiful. And a couple of cherry tomatoes. Eggs. Crack however you want in a bowl. However you want, however many you want. I'm gonna do 3. Whiskey whisk. I'm gonna add a little bit of this yogurt, because why not? So I've never scrambled an egg in my cast iron pan, but today is a good day to try. Medium heat, add a chunk of butter, swirl the butter, swirl the butter, what? Swirl the butter around and put the egg inside of the pan. That was a mouthful. Avocado, greens, garlic yogurt sauce, some carrot, cucumber, tomato, a little bit of homemade hot sauce, pickled red onion, scrap of black pepper, voila. And of course, a much needed taste test. I overpacked this wrap, 5 bigger wraps. Also, you can meal prep all of these ingredients, like the stuff that goes on the wrap, and then all you gotta do is do some eggs in the morning time, and this would be an amazing meal prepped breakfast, but fresh egg every single morning as well. Like, I don't want to overreact, but this is really, really, really good. That's a bomb. Eggs in a cast iron pan. It works. It works well. This sauce, solid 9 out of 10. Incredible. I'm not ashamed.
A big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. We all know that when you use Squarespace, you can create a stunning website using one of their pre-made templates or with the help of Blueprint AI, which is Squarespace's AI enhanced website builder. We love it. But at the same time, if you are a content creator, maybe you have exclusive tutorials, a premium workshop, or online courses that you want to sell, you can do that on your own website. You do not have to send people to one website, to send them to another website, to pay on this. It doesn't have to be a thing. You send them to your website. You upload and organize your videos and your content, creating stunning video libraries, and monetize your content by adding a paywall. This is perfect to keep things streamlined, organized, and make sure that your audience is not confused or think that you're scamming them. Everything you offer is in one place. If you want to try out Squarespace and build a beautiful website, upload your content, and start adding a paywall, then head to squarespace.com/JuliaAyers to get 10% off of your first purchase. But don't worry, you get to try all of these for free for 14 days. All you gotta do is head to squarespace.com for your free trial. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video.
We are now gonna make a Mexi style egg dish. We're basically gonna fry up some things, crack the eggs on top, and it's gonna be an omelet situation without actually being an omelet because I want the yolks to still be attached. However, do your own thing. One thing I did forget to buy was a jalapeno. I would recommend chopping a jalapeno quite thin or using pickled jalapenos. In this, I'm just gonna run with it and pretend basically I'll add some dried chilies and other spices to kind of bring the flavor up. However, I'm gonna make an iced cocoa to start. Cocoa, collagen, maca powder, sugar, and a little bit of cinnamon. And because many things tend to lump, I like to use a little matcha whisk. All right, breakfast. Slicing up one zucchini and cutting a large handful of cherry tomatoes in half. Roughly chopping a couple brown mushrooms and a wee bit of red onion. So I got my pan on medium heat and I'm now gonna add the drizzle of olive oil, the mushrooms, and that red onion. Seasoning with a wee pinch of salt. Now that I've got a little bit of brown on this, I'm gonna add my zucchini and tomato. Just gonna give the tomatoes a little bit of a crush just to help release their juices. Little pinch of salt. Adding a good handful of spinach. And some corn that I roasted, but feel free to use canned corn. Little splash of water just to help things along. Garlic and coriander. Half a teaspoon of chipotle. 1/4 a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of parsley. I'm gonna spread this mixture on the bottom of the pan really evenly. And then I'm gonna cover with a lid just to help the eggs along. Now adding some mozzarella cheese. All right, this can 100% be shareable. We're gonna try to scrape this up in a cohesive way. Oh, cheesy wonderfulness. I think I'm gonna just have 2 of the eggs and then save the rest for leftovers. Oh, I should have took a picture of it in the pan. And for a little extra color, and let's be real, the sake that I really love acidity, I'm gonna add some pickled red onions to this. Little sprinkle. And some fresh green onion. Fresh, beautiful, colorful, stunning. This is so fun. Highly recommend doing this if you're looking for a somewhat simple, nourishing, colorful, bright recipe to maybe make for your family on a Saturday morning or Sunday morning, or some friends after a night out. This would be really fun. The mozzarella cheese on top just makes this so much more playful. There's a lot of depth in flavor from the onion and the mushroom, and then the corn just brightens everything and makes this layer of sweetness kind of tie everything together. And then with the chipotle, it spices things back up. It's incredible. This is a winner. Well, hello. We are going to make a variation of Turkish eggs. I'm gonna use the leftover yogurt from the wrap from the other day and some more yogurt. I got some water on the boil waiting for my eggs. Into our bowl goes our lemony yogurt mixture. Should I use a smaller bowl? Yeah. And some more plain yogurt. I'm honestly not gonna add anything else to this mixture. I think it's perfect. Now that my water is boiling, I'm going to set my eggs inside. And timer for 7 minutes. Into another small bowl, I'm going to add some butter and a bit of olive oil, some chili, and I'm gonna pop this in the microwave. Giving that a mix. Half a teaspoon of paprika, black pepper. After the eggs were done, I immersed them in a cold water bath. I'm just gonna crack them open. 100% you can do poached egg for this. That would be incredible and typically what would be done for a recipe like this, but just for ease of life, you can pre-hard boil eggs the night before. You don't have to think about making anything the morning of if you need to run out of the house. Like, this is just a great little grab and go breakfast situation if you pre-prep the things. I'm a little cut open. I am not liking what's going on in this bowl. I am changing the situation here. I don't really know how to do it, but we're doing it. Still not liking this. This is not good. Better. This is better. Okay, but how colorful, how simple, how decadent. After like a jillion plate changes, we got something that works. This would be really good served with some pita or some fresh bread. Just could not be bothered right now, so here I am.